Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? You know, I feel like December literally just started yesterday, but somehow half of it is already gone, so that's scary. Christmas is like literally tomorrow. I am so not prepared. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that a lot of you out there are also feeling very unprepared and are frantically trying to figure out what the heck to buy your friends and family for Christmas. Well, look no further because today I am going to help you with that. I am sharing with you a book buying gift guide for Christmas. I have books for the fantasy lovers in your life, the contemporary lovers, the historical fiction lovers, and so on and so forth. I tried to incorporate as many books as I can that I feel would really appeal to a broad range of people that you may have in your life. So with that being said, let's get into the books. Starting with fantasy books, the first fantasy book that I would like to recommend is Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. I wanted to recommend this book first because it is actually my current read. I am a good way through it and I am just enjoying it so much. It is a fairly new title, so there's a good chance that whoever you're giving it to has not read it. So in my opinion, it's the perfect book to give. This book takes place in a fictional world, and in this world, every generation, 3 heirs to the throne are born, each of them girls, but only one of these girls can become the queen. On the night of their 16th birthday, they have to begin a battle against each other. Whichever girl is left standing gets to become the queen. Yeah, that's pretty gruesome and terrible, but it is so terribly good. The next fantasy book that I'd like to recommend is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. Snow Like Ashes takes place in a fictional world where there are different kingdoms, and each of these kingdoms is based off of a season. For example, there is the Winter Kingdom, the Fall, the Summer, and so on. Our main character, Mira, is from the Winter Kingdom. However, in this book, the Winter Kingdom was conquered and all of its people enslaved and their magic taken away from them. Mira and 8 other survivors are all working together to try to rebuild their kingdom and restore its magic once again. I really like this book because I feel like it has the best elements of a good, solid fantasy read. It has a really diverse and big fantasy world. It has really good social dynamics and political intrigue, but then it also has some good romance thrown into the mix. It's just a really well-balanced fantasy read and one that I think a lot of fantasy lovers would really enjoy. Next, I am going to be recommending books for the paranormal genre, and the first paranormal book I have is The Gathering by Kelly Armstrong. I have so much love for Kelly Armstrong, and really any of her paranormal books would be great to give to somebody. It takes place on Vancouver Island, and it follows a girl who is adopted. However, she's always really wanted to know who her biological parents are. She has this strange shaped birthmark on her hip, and all of this weird phenomena is happening to her. Meanwhile, in this town, there is also a lot of strange occurrences happening. There are these mountain lions that keep showing up. Her best friend has this strange ability to feel and sense things about other people. There is this boy who pops into the scene who is very mysterious. Just a really classic and satisfying paranormal YA read. What's really great about Kelly Armstrong is she never fails to write really gripping books, so there's a good chance that if you give this to somebody, they will be flying through it in no time. For somebody who's a really big paranormal lover, I definitely recommend this one. Next, I'm going to recommend Shadows by Paula Weston. It is about angels. It follows a girl named Gabby whose twin brother recently passed away, and one night Gabby meets a boy named Rafa. Somehow this guy, Rafa, knows way too much about her brother and her, and so he ends up revealing to her a life that she never knew she was connected to, and some secrets and truths about the world that are just crazy. It's super addictive, you won't be able to put it down, and the good news is that it's part of a series, so if you really like it, you can binge read all of the books. Next, I am going to be recommending contemporary books, so the first contemporary book that I have here is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. If you have any friends or family members that really like good, fluffy, romantic reads, this is definitely a good pick for that. This book follows a girl named Sydney who seems to be living what appears to be the perfect life. She is in college, she has a good job, she has a boyfriend who she's really in love with. However, she ends up discovering that her boyfriend is actually cheating on her, and not only is he cheating on her, he is cheating on her with her best friend. So after Sydney is forced to move on from her boyfriend, this book ends up centering around her developing relationship with her neighbor, Ridge. I don't want to spoil the rest, but basically this book focuses on their relationship and what happens from there. Colleen Hoover usually appeals to most contemporary readers, so I really think that this is a safe bet for any of the contemporary lovers in your life. The next contemporary read I'd like to recommend is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This book follows a family on this private island, and it's kind of hard to explain the plot of this book without giving away really important stuff, but all you really need to know is that it focuses on this group of people and all of the secrets and history that surrounds them. This book is very shocking. It is one of those books that after you finish it, you will just be thinking about it for a really long time. I like that this is a contemporary, but it's not just a light and fluffy contemporary. This book is really good for somebody that maybe enjoys a suspenseful book, somebody who you think could appreciate more depth and complexity in a contemporary and also could appreciate a very different and unique type of writing style. It got a lot of great reviews. I read it over the summer, really liked it, so I definitely recommend it. Next, I'm going to be recommending historical fiction books. So the first historical fiction book I have here is The Tea Rose by Jennifer Donnelly. I always know when I go into a Jennifer Donnelly book that I'm going to end up loving it. She does historical fiction so well. This book takes place in London in the year 1888 and it follows a woman named Fiona who works in a tea factory. However, what Fiona really wants to do is to one day open her own shop with the love of her life, Joe. However, things in this book go downhill when a horrible, awful man ends up taking everything Fiona cares about and loves away from her, and Fiona has no choice but to flee London and travel to New York. This is where her life drastically changes. However, even though she is trying to escape her past, eventually she's going to have to come face to face with everything that happened to her in London. This is actually an adult book and it is nearly 600 pages, so it is a good, big historical fiction book. So I would definitely recommend this book for anybody in your life that is a true historical fiction fan. This is a great book for somebody that reads a lot of historical fiction, and if they do, they will definitely love this book because Jennifer Donnelly is such a fantastic writer. She does a perfect job at it in my opinion, so I think this is a great pick. Next, I'm going to recommend A Mad Wicked Folly by Sharon Biggs Waller. This one is young adult and it follows a girl named Victoria who, when she poses nude for her art school, she is expelled and she is shunned and shamed by her family and society. Her family is set on marrying her off, however Victoria has different ideas and she is set on attending the Royal College of Arts. So Victoria has to decide which is more important, her reputation or her passion. I like that this book wasn't as serious as a lot of the historical fiction books I read, but it still had serious parts to it, but overall it just made me really happy. It made me smile, it made me laugh. I think this would also be a good book maybe to introduce somebody to historical fiction if they're not used to reading like really dense historical fiction books. Overall, I would describe this book as just really, really fun and I really enjoyed it. And those are all of my recommendations for today, so I really hope that was helpful for you guys. I tried to pick books that aren't like super well known, so there was a good chance that whoever you're giving it to hasn't read it, but I also picked books that have really good reviews and that I feel could be appealing to the majority of people. Please let me know in the comments below if maybe you are thinking about getting one of these for someone or even for yourself. I would really like to know. That would make me really happy. And also go ahead and let me know if you have read any of the books that I talked about today and then we can chat about them. I am going to wrap things up for today, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I hope that you'll go and have yourselves a fabulous day and I will see you guys next time. Bye!